Welcome to
Welcome to
OverEx.
Overexposed. You go ahead.
What?
All right, restart.
All right. Welcome to OverExposed. Keep that in. Uh,
All
yeah.
right,
Welcome. I think we have a little bit of a looser episode today. Just
we
going to talk
do.
about some films we've been watching. Not too much rhyme or reason behind it, but we will have a bit of a topic at the end. But
That's right. Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
yeah. But I'd say there's the structure is a little bit looser on this one. We kind of just wanted to watch. Well, I guess we can. It's no surprise. We just watched a lot of pre what like 60s.
Yeah, I
Watched a
would
lot of
say
like
like
50s,
1950s,
40s. Yeah.
40s.
So we'll talk about that. But we'll start off as we usually do with our recent watches that are not from the 40s or 50s.
Yeah, I would say. Well, I would say on that, 40s and 50s are kind of a blind spot for both of us, and there's a lot of great directors back
Yeah.
then, and I think we sampled all of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think we did a good job of trying to seek out interesting directors and watch at least a movie by them, or at least watch like a movie in some different categories. And we can get into that once we, discuss our recent watches.
cool. Do
Yeah.
you want to start or me?
Sure, I can start. So, as I continue my Cohen's journey, trying to get to completionist status, I have two more under my belt for this episode. Those being some pretty high notes and some pretty low notes in True Grit and the Lady Killers. True Grit's pretty fantastic. Bridges giving another fantastic performance, like on par with Big Lebowski, I would say.
Really,
Yeah, he's fantastic as Rooster
Rooster Cogburn.
Cogburn
Yeah.
in True Grit. They say he didn't win the Oscar for that because he had kind of surprisingly won the year right before for Crazy Heart.
Wow,
So
I
yeah,
forgot
if
about
he
that.
didn't if he
Yeah.
didn't win the year before, I think there's a good chance he probably would have won the Oscar for True Grit as John Wayne did in the original. Matt Damon is fantastic as kind of the second guy kind of tagging along with them. He's really annoying. He's really pretentious. It's a very good kind of Matt Damon character actor type role.
Mm.
He has his various modes. He
Yeah.
leading man or character actor. It's very much character actor performance. Haley Steinfeld obviously is the breakout star of the film. She's just incredible for being a preteen or however old she is,
Yeah,
maybe
I
like
didn't realize that
14 in the
was,
film. Hmm
the girl who's now in
Yes,
Sinners.
yes, the girl
Yeah,
from Center is married to Josh Allen. Um,
married to Josh Allen.
hmm
Wow.
Yep, yep, yep. And then Josh Brolin is the villain at the end. It's just classic Coens. It's none of their movies. I think something else I really like about them is none of their movies are very long. So True Grit has this very grandiose and epic scale, but it's only 2 hours. It
Okay.
doesn't. So
Well, and it's based on a book too. And how many
yeah,
of
it is
their
based on a book.
is Sucker Proxy based on a book?
No,
So to say, not many of their
not
works.
very few of their
I mean, No
stuff is
Control
actually
Man.
based on
Yeah.
pre-existing IP. So yeah, it is pretty rare for them to do something like that. Apparently, they have really no reverence for the original. They
Hmm.
don't like the original whatsoever, so they didn't have any issues with like I don't know.
Making adjustments and
Right? Yes,
changes.
or like have it thinking they have to respect the original. They don't think it's a very good movie. I've never seen it.
Gotcha.
Uh,
So now we've touched the low point. Let's go to the high point. Sucker Proxy.
no, it was the Lady Killers.
Oh, the lady
Yes,
killers.
starring Tom Hanks, Marlon Wayans, J.K. Simmons. Just man, just an annoying movie, unfunny. It really makes you highlight. It really highlights kind of the Coens at their worst because it is. I think a lot of these directors really like some of their lesser movies are they're lesser movies because they're more anonymous or more generic. They might be some
Hmm.
for hire stuff, just something that doesn't have their DNA in it as much. You could tell they were kind of like half asleep at the wheel, but the Lady Killers is very different in that you can clearly see them behind the camera. It is very clearly a Coen's brother movie to a fault. It just kind of bashes you over the head with that style. Tom Hanks is just I'm not all in on Tom Hanks every time, and this is definitely one of the movies that I'm not really a big fan of his performance whatsoever. It kind of just boils down to like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. I mean, when I talked to you on the phone about it just briefly, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, does this have any like impact on your opinion of the Coens?
I mean,
Because it's like you see,
it
obviously they make,
right. No,
Fargo
I
and No
mean, I
Control
think I
Man.
think in a sense it does and it doesn't. Where it's like the sense that it does is it's like okay, this style is this style has breaking points. Like what I like about them has its limits. I'm not an
Right.
unapologetic,
You're not like, oh, they're the
they
best
can do
filmmakers
no
ever.
wrong, exactly.
Yeah.
But then it also kind of does give me more respect for them because it does show that like when it does work, it's such a big difference. How more measured the ones that do work are, in that type of style. So I think yes, it kind of makes me realize, yes, they're not perfect and they can do wrong, but then it does give me a little bit more of appreciation for how they're able to pull it off in the ones that work, because you get to see the exact version that doesn't work,
Yeah, my whole
if
thing
that
is just
makes
kind
any
of like,
sense.
and I haven't seen it, but sometimes when you see a movie like that, I can't imagine, but you're just like, what were they like? You filmed this whole thing, you edited it, you produced, like you did the whole
Right.
work, and never once were you like, this doesn't like
No,
this is a
I, I,
bad
I
idea.
think I think it does show kind of what I was saying is like, they're not perfect and that they probably do need some bit of like
Somebody
somebody
who's
somebody whispering in their
at the
ear saying,
helm, kind
hey,
of being
yeah,
like,
like let's maybe tone it back a little bit, like,
yeah,
make it a bit more
interesting.
approachable. So yeah, I think it kind of, I don't know if it makes me, it it doesn't make me like or dislike my favorite films of theirs any more or less, but it definitely, gives me some more context for them as a whole, and as a pair. And so I haven't watched Barton Fink yet. I'm trying to not just save all the bad ones for last. I would
Yeah,
like,
you don't want to do
yeah.
that.
So I need to watch that, and then all the newer ones. I have seen Hail Caesar, but I'm gonna rewatch that as well.
Mm.
So we'll see. But yeah, we're getting into the weeds with this Coen Brothers.
I guess the reason I asked you that too, just to
Hmm.
go back to what I think one of the previous episodes talked about it, like Magnolia for me was kind of like that, where you
Yeah.
watch it and people love Magnolia. That's like
Hmm.
some of people's favorites, Paul Thomas. But I watched it and it kind of made me like, oh, like
Yeah, it kind of makes
it's
you be like,
kind
oh,
of like,
I
oh,
thought,
this is very like formulaic. Like it's
right.
just like it's kind of
Like for me, the Lady
I don't
Killers,
know.
and I thought this a little bit with The Man Who Wasn't There. It makes me realize it's like, oh, I do really like this style, but when it's done well, like this can get out of hand pretty quickly, and I think it does
Right. Well,
there.
that's what
It
I'm
it,
saying.
it, it almost like it's bordering on like a Paul Thomas Anderson, a Wes Anderson movie. Like it is so heavy stylized and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like it's getting into that territory. And like I do like Wes Anderson, but like some of his movies, you can be like, all right, that's enough.
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, because Boogie Nights is like this huge cast of
Right.
characters, and there's like
Boogie
all
Nights is
this
like a breath of
stylistic.
fresh air
There's like
too. Like,
stylistic, everybody
hmm,
walking into the party, swimming in the pool. That's so fun. And then Magnolia is like that, but like, okay, what if everything was serious
right,
and like,
right. What if it
I
mattered?
hate you, mom, like
Yeah,
like shit like that, and it's
right.
just it doesn't work for. And then there's this whole scene where they sing in the car. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah,
there's that. I was just like, this doesn't work for
it's
me.
it comes off as pretentious, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry to make it about a movie
No,
I already
no.
talked
This is
about, but
this is
it's the
what
same.
it's
I
all
just
about.
brought it
Yeah,
up because that's like why I asked. 'Cause
yeah.
like it kind of tainted. Not to say there will be blood, the master, a
It
bunch of
doesn't it
stuff.
doesn't taint the movies themselves, but it does make you think like, okay,
This
this,
is yes,
yes,
like you said. Like I don't think Paul Thomas can do no wrong.
right,
Like I'm like,
exactly,
wow,
yeah.
okay.
To be like, okay, well,
And I still liked it. I'm
yeah,
not
right,
saying
right.
you didn't like
No, I
Lady
did not
Killers,
like the Lady
and that
Killers.
was something you said on the phone that I want you to bring up. So that was really funny. You were talking about J.K.
Oh,
Simmons, and you were like, you were like, you're like, when have I ever been like seeing J.K. Simmons something like I don't like J.K.
yeah,
Simmons, and
it's an actor you see pop up all the time. You're like, oh,
you
J.K.
love him,
Simmons, yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
love him, and then in the Lady Killers, I'm like, I don't love him, and
yeah. That's
then,
really
so
good.
I think it has to be an especially bad movie for, and Marlon Wayans too. Like it has to be that bad for me to
Yeah.
like have that great cast of character,
Hmm.
or comedic actors, and think none of them work whatsoever, and their characters are annoying. They're annoying. The performances are annoying.
Right.
Uh,
That's
yeah,
funny.
it's just nothing's working for me in that one.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Do you have any other ones you want to talk about
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah.
Let's just run all
All
yours,
right,
and then
that's a good
I'll
idea.
we'll pause and I'll.
Let me just make sure. Okay, so I have the only two more I will talk about are two holiday films.
Really, you're gonna talk about? Okay.
Should I save them?
I thought about it because I've watched a couple holiday films. I was like, maybe I'll save them for the Christmas
I can
episode.
save them.
Are
Okay.
they Christmas or Thanksgiving?
One is Thanksgiving.
Then talk about
Talk
that
about
one.
the Thanksgiving one. Okay, I watched Jodie Foster's directorial. I don't know if it's her directorial debut, but
Mm-hmm.
her feature film "Home for the Holidays," starring Holly Hunter, Robert Downey Jr., Charles Durning, Anne Bancroft, Dylan McDermott. It's very charming Steve Guttenberg pops up
Okay.
in it. Yeah, it's a very charming film. I liked it quite a bit. I love Holly Hunter, and it definitely kind of re-emphasized how good she is. She's just a wonderful actress. I think she has such a unique identity. Her voice, her vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just so great. So I think watching her is kind of a treat in itself. She definitely has that presence that kind of keeps you entwined. Her character is very interesting. Robert Downey Jr. plays her gay brother, and I think this is one of the last movies he made before he went to rehab, and you can certainly tell. Yes,
Yeah.
he is very out of his gourd in it, and in ways that are not really amusing. It's just kind of annoying, and
Yeah. I've
it's
seen some young Downey Jr. stuff, and I'm like, I don't really like him.
no, it's pretty insane, and I think it's funny because I see a lot of comments, or I was reading letterbox comments to see what people thought about specifically that, and I saw a lot of people saying this is like one of the worst gay characters like ever written because he's just pure obnoxious and
Really?
like yeah, it's
Like
it's
borderline offensive?
I no because he doesn't he like they have
He's
to
not like
no
really
they
putting
have
it
to
on.
directly say that he's gay in the movie like you're just
Oh,
kind of like
gotcha.
he's like he has an
He's just kind
interesting
of bitchy.
dynamic. Yes, but he's like loud. He's always talking a mile a minute. Clearly
Gotcha.
it was snowing on set. Uh, but
Very good, sir.
other than that, it's a pretty charming Thanksgiving, a true Thanksgiving movie. So add that to the short list of planes, trains, and automobiles, and I'm not sure what
What if
else.
you like blew down like you did blow and watched the movie and you're like, he's so good. Like it just
Yeah,
like changed
well,
your
it's funny because
entire
it's like he's like making like a Jodie Foster like Thanksgiving movie, and
Yeah,
it's just
man.
kind of like,
Hey,
I mean, it was '96, I guess. So,
that's true.
but it's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah,
Worth the
I do.
watch.
I do.
Okay.
I quite enjoy it. Claire Danes is
Yeah.
the daughter in it. She's not in much, but it's an early role for her. But yeah, it's charming. It's funny. I don't think there's much to dislike about it. And you get to see some interesting performances.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'll save the Christmas one, I guess. For
That's what
yeah.
I
Okay.
because I have a rewatch of a Thanksgiving film, like the Thanksgiving film. But
Yes,
okay.
that I've already mentioned.
Yes. I'm gonna go check the camera. We'll be right back.
Okay.
So my recent watches that were not, 1940s, 1950s. I'll start with a movie that my dad was like, "You got to see this movie," and a movie that I'm shocked you haven't seen, and that is Buffalo
But
'66.
we've wanted to see that. It's not like
Yes,
your
it's been on my
dad.
watch
Your
list
dad. Yeah, I know.
forever.
I was gonna say that's been
But it
on.
surprised me that my dad was like, "You should watch
Yeah,
this movie."
but it seems like us going to like McKay's. It seems like a staple of McKay's. Like I don't know why, but I feel
Yeah,
like I've
yeah.
seen that on the shelf
Mhm.
there so many times and never picked it up. Or like I could see him knowing
It
about it,
kind
but
of
it
is
is
in
interesting.
that
Yeah,
'90s, like like I don't know. To me, it reminds me of like the Harmony Korine stuff, like Kids
yeah.
or
Oh, it's
Gummo,
definitely of that same or like
or that what's that
Walt Whitman,
Billy Bob Thornton film?
One False Move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
stuff
Kind of
like
gives you
that. And
that vibe.
like Kicking and Screaming. Like who does
Oh,
those
Noah
ones?
Baumbach,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because those are like late
or
'90s.
like Steven Soderbergh stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
But yes,
We get
I
this.
have to
It's like
say
the
yes.
'90s
But I
indie
told you this on the phone. I'm trying to remember. I wish
revolution.
I had taken this note. It remind two films. Well, let me just start from the beginning. It's great. I was charmed by it. I know people either love it or hate it, and I know Vincent Gallo is like
Well,
a
he's
beloved figure. Like everybody loves him.
yeah. I was gonna say. Well, the creator has some,
He's totally sane.
right, totally normal guy.
But I have to say, it works. It's one of those movies that on paper you're like, this should not work, and you do have to give it its grace. Like you have to give it a bit of time
A
to like
bit of
really.
what suspension of disbelief or
Yes, I guess you have to warm up to it.
right, right.
Is what I mean.
You gotta take in
There's
its
a
world.
scene with Ben Gazzara when they go to the house. You know what it's about, right? Like the idea of
Yeah, he like kidnaps
he
Christina Ricci.
kidnaps.
Yeah.
Yes, he gets out of prison. He wants to go see his family. He's lying to his family. That's his sister. He kidnaps her and goes. He's like, just make me look good. That's the
Hmm.
whole thing. And you kind of like pity him because you realize like how little his family like even acknowledges his
Right.
existence. Ben Gazzara, there's a scene where he sings, and it's like immediately when that happens, you're like after that point, I was like, I'm hooked on this movie.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I mean. There's parts of it that are like I can't remember what the other movie I compared it to, but I said Eraserhead. It reminds me of Eraserhead. I would not. There's no doubt in my mind that Vincent Gallo was heavily inspired by Race Red.
Probably.
The whole dinner table scene, the scene of singing, like there's just things of it that really remind me of that. And God bless it, I can't remember the other movie. When we pause again, I'm gonna come back and say
Is it something like Cassavetes?
no, it's like something like really out there too. I told you that. Like it, shoot, it doesn't matter. Anyways, yes, everybody's great in it. Christina Ricci, Angelica Houston is incredible.
Always.
Who is it? Who's the girl who OD? Not ODs, but the girl with all the piercings, Pulp Fiction. Rosanna Arquette.
Well, yeah, of
She
course.
makes a cameo in it. Yeah, it's just a good movie.
It's awesome.
But it's also what's really funny about it is like an incel movie. Like it
right,
is like
it's like
he is
yeah.
like so
Right.
yes. But and it's so stylistic, and that's what I love about it, man. And that's what anybody can love about it is like that's what independent cinema should be.
Right.
It's like stylistic choices.
It's one person's vision.
Exactly, and it
Mhm.
is so like it's like it makes me want to watch Brown Bunny, and I know
I want to watch it too. I'll watch Buffalo
Yeah.
66 first,
and it
then-
also makes me be like, how did this? Because you know he was in that Coppola movie. Was he just
Mhm.
like kind of like beloved by directors?
I was
You're
gonna
like,
say
oh,
he
he's-
must have just been bouncing around like the indie scene in Hollywood,
I
or
know.
like he
He
must have
seems like-
he must have been at parties or something, and someone
That's
was
what
like,
I
"Hey,
was
meet
gonna
this
say.
guy! Like this guy's
he
crazy."
seems like a guy who would like be like hors d'oeuvre, sir, and then start talking to people like this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I guarantee that's how. Because yeah, if you look at his like, he's in other movies.
I know
like,
he is.
He's in
but
some.
he's like in Abel Ferreira stuff.
Right,
and,
but he's
Coppola
in like
stuff.
he's in like he can't be making like a lot of money like doing what he
No.
So like he definitely has to just be a guy that's like in these circles.
But at
and
this
like,
point, it's like, how did he get like Angelica Houston or like Ben Gazzara?
he must just know people. It's got to just be like,
or they just read the script and were like, okay,
yeah,
I'm in.
that also. And I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if they're. I'd say Christina Ricci is arguably the more impressive one in like the '90s.
for
Like
her,
she's a big
and
star,
that's what's funny. No, because that's what's funny. I thought the same thing.
but she doesn't
And I
become a
looked
big
at her
star
letters.
until
I looked at her letterbox, and it's kind of like the first movie where she's like an adult.
an
in it.
adult. Okay,
And that's
like,
what makes me
'cause
think. Where
was
she
it?
was like, "This is my chance
That
to like
makes
not
sense.
be like Wednesday."
That
Addams
makes
or
sense.
something.
Yeah, because she was.
Yes.
Yeah, she was
'Cause I
Wednesday
thought
and
the
then
same
Casper.
thing.
Okay,
Yes, I thought the same. I
that
was
makes
like,
a lot
what
of
the
sense. So
f-
yeah, she took it as like
like this is my like
it's-
break, like kind of
it's,
like Spring Break. You're talking about Harmony Korine again.
Showgirls. What's her
Oh,
name in
exactly,
Showgirls?
Elizabeth
The one, yeah, Elizabeth Berkley from.
or that's what I was saying, like Selena Gomez in Spring Break,
Yeah.
like something like that.
Yeah,
where it's like,
good example.
I'm gonna,
like this is
go
this is a
heavy.
riskier project, but it's gonna get me. It's gonna push me into that realm.
It's like
more
I'm not
so
going to be
than,
typecast
right.
anymore.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's a very good observation.
Right.
But yeah, I would have to imagine he just had to like he can't be like he had to have been in circles like people at a party being like, you meet this guy, you know what I mean? Like he can't, he couldn't have
He's
just been
crazy.
some. Yeah,
His
he
interviews
is.
are nuts. I kind of want to do a deeper dive on him. Like
I
just
know.
wanna,
Yeah, it's like so who is like his first like connection that gets his foot in the door in Hollywood, right? Like,
right. I know. He
'cause
almost gives
he
me like
is
a
from-
vibe though. He's like, oh yeah, his uncle is like this famous person or
Maybe.
something. But
I don't know. He kind of like he kind of does give me the vibe as he
You're
just kind of
right.
showed up one day and was like
Exactly. Because that's kind of what the movie's about.
selling drugs to like celebrities,
Right.
maybe.
The movie is like essentially. I mean, it's very like personal. Like
right.
it's like
I think he is from
it
Buffalo.
makes you be like, holy shit! Like you must have had a tough upbringing.
Yeah, I think he is from Buffalo.
Yeah. What's the other movie that
Get-
he made? Not Brown Bunny. There's another one that like you can only watch.
Yes,
if
he has a
he's at the
he has a
theater.
third movie that he's only screened like 2 or 3 times. It's supposed
But
to be
everybody
really
who's
good.
seen
Yeah,
it is like it's really.
I don't
good.
know what it's called, but
God, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
If you could get him to Belcourt and be like, just show the movie, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't piss off the owners because they probably don't like you. Just show.
well,
the movie.
but I think that's like part of it is you have to sit through his or no, that was the Crispin Glover movies.
Oh,
those
yeah,
where he
exactly.
tours with those, and you have to like sit through his like slideshow about them too.
Right,
like
right.
if you want them screened.
Okay, so that's 66. Buffalo 66. Highly recommend it. You got to watch
Yeah,
it.
that's one that's been on my like.
It's
that's
you
one
you're gonna love it.
That's one I
think
had downloaded on my like laptop in college.
In college,
when we
right.
were starting out watching all this stuff.
A complete 180 from that is the other movie I watched is Frankenstein, the new Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, and it's funny because I said Buffalo 66 charmed me in the most opposite way. This also charmed me.
Yeah,
because it's not.
Guillermo del Toro is like.
That's what I mean. And people are talking about, oh, Elordi, Oscar Isaacs. I don't give a shit about the acting in this movie.
It's a Frankenstein movie. It's not going to be about the acting.
No, for me, Guillermo del Toro. I mean, it's the world building. It's
yeah,
like
that's what he's so good at. Yeah, that's
exactly. I could take or leave. Oscar Isaacs. You probably like him from Inside Llewellyn Davis, and
yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
Dune,
Lordy,
Star
we saw
Wars, like
Saltburn. We saw,
yeah.
I've seen some of whatever that show is, Euphoria. But like Mia Goth, I like Mia Goth too. I've
I didn't know
seen.
she was in it.
She's like she
Cool.
plays two characters in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
good.
no, no. Del Toro has like a very like his style. He has like that gothic like grand style that
Exactly. It
feels like
is.
very like
It's
kind of
very.
in
It's
it.
period piece.
It feels kind of inviting at the same
It
time though.
is.
It
It is.
like you know
And that's what I would say. And some people actually complain about this, but there's a shot where Oscar Isaac's character, I guess Dr. Frankenstein, is following Neo Goth through this like market and it's raining. And the way it looked, I was like, this scene is like what they should show in Best Buys on like an 8K TV
right
because it
like
just
it's just
looks
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I
I
think
like stuff like that. Like that's
Crimson
what I
Peak
really enjoyed about it.
is
I
one.
want to see Crimson Peak.
I mean, it's. I don't think it's like fantastic, but it just like immersive. You know.
Have you seen Pan's Labyrinth?
No, I've not. I've
See,
not seen a lot of
that
Del
actually is
Toro.
one that I would say like substance wise is also very good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Crimson Peak, I think, just is a great like.
Period piece. Yeah, it's just
Well, but it's a great example of like
the
his
gothic.
like gothic style more
Yeah,
so
yeah.
than like it being just a period
And frankly,
piece.
I've seen Kronos too, which is one of his earlier
Mm-hmm.
ones, and I like that too. Like he's like a guy who he's inoffensive. You know,
Oh
like
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
just
certainly.
he's
He
like
kind
he's
of like
not.
kind of like M Night Shyamalan, I think. Like that's always
That's
gonna
giving a
okay.
great
Yeah.
praise to Shyamalan. Shyamalan is
Well,
not.
you know I'm a
If
fan,
Guillermo del Toro is like an A tier director, like Shyamalan is like C plus, maybe
but he's like
C.
he's like it's the same thing you're saying. Like he's very I don't know. He's
Shyamalan made Sixth Sense,
inoffensive.
and Sixth Sense is a great movie.
I
Signs
The
is
Village is great.
a good
Signs
movie.
is pretty good. Lady in the Water
It
is,
goes great, pretty good, good. Like
and then it falls
yes,
off
that's
a
what Sixth Sense,
cliff.
Unbreakable, Signs, and then it's just like
It's a cliff, but I don't know.
yeah.
I still love them. I have a soft spot
No,
for
I
them,
like
but
Lady in the Water. We've
yeah,
talked about Lady in the
I know.
Water.
It's an awful,
So,
pretentious movie, but
but that's
it's charming.
I wouldn't compare the two because like Shyamalan is like puts his foot in his mouth. Like Shyamalan's like a guy who like is taking chances that are like everybody's like, why would you?
Yeah, that's true.
Guillermo
That's
del Toro
true.
is inoffensive.
That's not.
Shyamalan
Yeah,
is very offensive
you're
in the
right.
sense of like you're like,
That's not a
what are
good
you
comparison.
thinking?
Right, right. That's not a good
Yeah.
comparison. So fair
I
enough.
almost said like a Wes Anderson, like whereas
Yeah.
Wes Anderson's style is very like I
Wes
don't know,
Wes Anderson is like the thing I was saying with the Coens earlier. That was like sometimes it's like
it's
hitting
like
you over the
batting you
head
over the
with it. You're
head,
like, okay, I got it. Like,
right? And I don't know, I haven't seen enough of Del Toro to uh to make that determination
yeah.
on.
Well,
But what I've seen of him, I
we'll have to
like.
watch more.
I would
Yeah.
say good, not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frankenstein. All right, final one. This one's really, kind of out of left field too. Is this movie called Election by Johnny Toe? Not the election that we're thinking of Alexander Payne, which I also need to see. Election, Johnny Toe.
Good movie.
It was on Criterion Channel. It was going away for the month, and I was like, I haven't seen any of this Hong Kong stuff. I love Japan stuff.
Chinese.
Okay,
Johnny Toast.
Chinese.
Well,
But
but there is
this is
no.
the Hong
I think
Kong
it's
Triad
but I think it's
Syndicate.
important to draw a distinction because I think Johnny Toe is a mainland Chinese film
Is he?
director. Yes,
Because there are shots of this movie. There's scenes of the movie that take place in China,
yes,
but the movie's about the Hong Kong Triad Syndicate, so that's why I
but it
consider it
is
the Hong Kong
but
stuff.
I think there's a big difference to make because I know now they're the same, but like when all these like the John Woo stuff is able to be so much crazier because it is a Hong Kong movie and not an actual
And
Chinese
that would make sense
mainland. And
because
Johnny
that's
Toe is like famously
exactly
like
yeah.
one of like the boundary pushing like Chinese mainland
But that's what I was gonna say because
filmmakers.
I walked in,
But he's still not like it's still not on
no,
that level of like
no, it's not at all.
yeah
That's what I was gonna say.
right
This movie rules. Like this movie is fucking awesome, and it's awesome because it's like a crime film about like electing the next like leader of the syndicate. But there's like I swear to God, there's probably not a gunfight once in
right
this movie.
right
Like the action is like very reserved and like very like special placement, but it works so much better that way.
right
And the thing that's awesome too is it's all about like the tradition of the election. So like the first half of this movie, like these characters, Locke and Big D are like the two guys running against each other. Big D's kind of like the chaotic, like paying people off, and Locke's like the very like disciplined, like people respect him. So obviously the whole time you're rooting for Locke, like. Also, it's funny the guy's name is Big D.
it is funny
Funny. The beginning of the movie is awesome because it's like they go to prison, like they get arrested, go to prison, but you quickly realize like they're in prison because they're like the whole government's corrupt, and they're in there to like figure it out together. Like it's
Right.
like making them sit in the same rooms and like talk to each other. It's
Interesting.
not like they're actually
Yeah.
suffering any
Right.
penalty.
Right.
It's all like for show. But then outside of that, they're all like you're following like these phone calls taking place of like different parts of the syndicate trying to track down this like baton because whoever has the baton, it's like that's the like it's like you have the baton, like you are the next leader.
Hmm.
Like you know what I mean? So that's
Interesting.
what I mean, following tradition in that sense. But at the same time, it's like very people say this is like a critique of capitalism, critique of democracy, critique of because at the end of the day, it's like not democracy but politics because the tradition that outlines everything is like bent in every way possible in this movie.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? It's just like it's in place just to be like subversive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think it's a great film. It kind of goes everywhere. It comes good. Like there's parts where I'm like, oh, this is like almost like a buddy film, and then you're like, oh wait, no, it's not. And I would highly recommend that as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
Election, great film. And I'm gonna watch more Johnny Toe.
We've seen Drug War.
I have not seen Drug War. You've seen
You
it?
didn't watch it with us?
I don't think I did.
Oh, I had it on Blu-ray. We
I know
watched
you
it.
did. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've
Because
seen
that's
it.
one of his other big ones. There's
Mhm.
another movie he made that there's a second one of too. That's like supposed to be his best film. It's not Election. It's another. It's like one word. It's like
Yeah, I was.
goodbye.
All of his titles are kind of like generic.
Yeah, but well, Heroic Trio too is also supposed to be great. But yeah, so those are my three. All right,
Cool.
we're gonna break, and then now we will discuss the meat of this episode: 1940s, 1950s. You want to
Yeah.
start us off?
Sure. We just wanted to watch some older stuff. I wouldn't say we have like ton of blind spots there, but it's a an area we haven't seen as many films.
Right. I mean,
Um,
we like a lot of this. These are all American films too. I would say. Well,
British. I
British and
watch, yeah,
American.
but
That's
English
true.
speaking.
But exactly because my what we have seen is like
I
Like
was gonna say, yeah, I've probably
Kurosawa,
seen more like foreign
yeah,
films,
Fellini.
right, of that era than like some of the American classics. So I just tried to watch like stuff that interests me from that period that is like somewhat significant. So the first one I watched is Powell and Pressburger's A Matter of Life and Death from I think 1946, starring David Niven. Great movie. I've never seen. I guess I've seen Black Narcissus and Peeping Tom. But those are both in college, so I wanted to see some more Powell and Pressburger. And this is one I've always like. I think I had this downloaded on my computer in college. It's been one I wanted to watch for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great. Beautiful, grand sets. It's a really interesting story. I do think it's really funny how British it is. So it was made in 1946. So like the beginning or like what would that be? That's like World War II relative. Like that's like
Oh, just yeah,
yeah,
1945 is when World War II ends.
right. Okay, so it's right after. So
Yeah.
it's about a pilot in the war, right? And he's kind of he's flying, I don't know, he's flying on some mission. His plane is going down. So he radios up a woman on the mainland. He's flying over the ocean and says, hey, like, we're going down. I'm going to die. They have this conversation. That's that. Well, he discovers he did not die in the crash. But, so he meets this woman he was talking to on the radio. They fall in love. And then the angel comes back and says, you were supposed to die. I lost you in the sea, I guess. So that's kind of the whole setup of the movie is that he's arguing to like the panel in heaven that he deserves to. Yes,
Yeah.
he deserves another chance at life, and it's pretty much it turns into like a legal proceeding movie, honestly. But I think the funniest part about it is they're like, okay, so the guy, they're like, this is the hard part though. So it's essentially a court proceeding, right? And you're arguing for your life, very similar to Albert Brooks's Defending Your Life, like
Mm-hmm.
pretty
I'm
much same
sure that
movie, yeah.
yeah.
And they're like, but the guy, the prosecuting attorney, I guess you would say, they're like, you got to be careful though, because like this is a big part of the movie. They're like, he's a great debater, but he was killed in the American Revolutionary War, and he hates British people. And they're
Hmm.
like, no, you don't understand. Like, he's like a racist against British people. Like, that is like his least favorite thing in the world. So it's very funny because it has this like big sense of like coming. I don't know. Like, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Kind of has a sense of like, damn, are like the British still that upset about like the Revolutionary War? And like, I don't know. It has like a lot of like British nationalism tied to it too, because it's like this guy hates the Brits, but like we're gonna beat him, like, and like prove that like the Brits like are on
Well,
top.
that's so perfect, 1946 too, because we just like saved their
Right,
ass in
right.
World War
So it's
II.
very funny, and it just makes you think of like what people were thinking in Britain at the time.
Yeah, definitely. They were
But
probably embarrassed. Like I said, like
yeah,
literally America came and like
yeah.
saved
So
them.
that's like a big part of the movie is like kind of showing it to the Americans and like showing
Wow.
why British nationalism is so good. So
Fuck
it's kind
Powell
of
and
funny.
Pressburger.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
yeah. But it's really good. Besides that, I mean, not besides that. I mean, that part's fine too. I just think it's funny.
So, but what about like the sets and
Oh,
staging?
they're
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
Okay.
it's beautiful. Big grand sets, matte paintings.
Well, that's what the
Um,
movie I was going to talk about is Black
the
Narcissus. So
yes, the alternate title for A Matter of Life and Death is Stairway to Heaven, because like a large set piece
that's what I've
that
seen. I've seen
reoccurs
that.
throughout the movie is like a giant stairway to
Yeah, they're
heaven. Yeah.
great. I mean, that's yeah. I've seen Peeping Tom as well, which is just Powell, by the way. I
Yes.
told you
Yeah.
that, and he was kind of like lambasted for that movie. Like
Yeah.
after he made
Yeah.
it, he's
I
like,
mean,
dude,
it's lurid for the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is crazy because it's so good.
Right.
But I've seen The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp a
Okay.
long
I haven't
time
seen
ago,
that
and I really enjoyed that. And then the one I just watched, I watched it actually the first movie I watched before Buffalo 66. It was Black Narcissus, which is 1947. So I'm glad you went
one.
first.
Mm-hmm. I didn't
It's
realize that.
great. I mean, it is. It's this idea of these nuns out in the wilderness and like how the beauty of this area is like kind of drawing them away from God almost like it's like
Hmm.
making them and that's like why it's called Black Narcissus because Black Narcissus is like this scent that the young sheik isn't the right word but he's like the emperor's son, I'm talking about, that guy who visits, he like wears it and it's really great in that sense of
It's
like
like
the
temptation.
exactly. It's exact. It's like a sexual movie without any like
Right. Well, it's 40s. Yeah.
yeah salaciousness
Right.
to it. Yeah, and the dreamlike flashbacks too are just like incredible. Like when she's like thinking in her mind and like it's almost like this hymnal like choir like singing in the back and she like remembers these memories and stuff. I mean like the style it can't be understated like how inspirational Powell and
Right.
Pressburger were.
Right. It's
Like there's
beautiful.
things that happen in this movie that I'm like every director like things that we
Yeah.
just take for granted. It's like
Right.
these are the guys who did
Right.
dreamlike sequences. I mean, like you said, like it's incredible. It was all like shot on the stage, like in
Mm-hmm.
Britain. And I think it's one of those movies. And this is kind of the through line I think for this episode about like these older movies. This is a film that still holds up to this day.
Oh yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
it's a movie people could still enjoy in a lot of ways. It would be a shame if they ever tried to remake it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'd
Mm-hmm.
be like, why
Well,
would you?
you lose so much of the spectacle. Like
Exactly.
you just get you're missing. Yeah, you're missing a big part of it. I think.
Great.
Um,
Okay. So what's next on yours?
Next, I wanted to watch some classic melodrama. So I watched some Douglas Sirk, and I don't know why, but the one that's always the one that I've wanted to watch the most, I do want to see more of his stuff, is Written on the Wind, starring Rock Hudson,
Hmm.
um, Robert Stack, who I don't know if you're familiar with Robert Stack, Unsolved Mysteries, Airplane.
Oh, okay.
He's like the other pilot. Um,
Yes. I know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
I know him mostly from Unsolved Mysteries, so it's cool to see
Wait.
him.
So he's not the one who's like, have you ever?
No,
Okay.
that's Peter Graves, who is the
Okay.
guy from Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah.
He's the original like Ethan Hunt in
Yeah, that's
the
crazy. Okay.
TV series. Yeah, no. Robert Stack is the guy who like drives to the airport. Like the guy goes to his house and like his dog attacks him.
Okay.
Do you not know?
Whoa.
Okay,
No,
either way,
no, it's been too long.
you would recognize him. Him and Lloyd Bridges like have scenes together. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. You would know who I'm talking about. But then Unsolved Mystery does that not?
I never watched it.
Oh
No.
well, he's the host
It's
of it.
more of a Ghost Adventures guy.
Right, right.
Okay.
Well, Robert Stack is. I just suffice to say I hadn't seen a lot of his like earlier work. I know he's on the Untouchables as well. Um, I guess similar to TV
Nice.
show. But it was great. Lauren Bacall is the love interest as well. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Nice.
just pretty classic cast.
Yeah. It's.
Um, but it is fantastic. I didn't really know what to expect out of this melodrama, but I saw a quote from Douglas Sirk before I started watching it that really made me interested in his stuff, where he was talking about like art, the separation between art and trash is very minimal and I guess subjective. And it kind of makes you realize watching this melodrama stuff that it's like, you know, the John Waters stuff is literally only like ramping this up like 5%. Like
Right, right.
it is still boisterous. It's still outrageous. It's very good. It is like, you know, I guess I think my preconceived notion of like the melodrama stuff is like, oh, this is just going to be outdated. But when you watch it, like, and I wouldn't say this is the case for every director that does melodrama because I think some are more sincere. But like
Mm-hmm.
Douglas Sirk, you watch it and you get that it's supposed to be heightened. Like you don't that, and that's why it plays well today because it, you know, it should have had the same effect. You know, it's like very soapy too. It's melodrama. It's
Yeah, yeah,
heightened.
yeah.
Like you know, but it's wonderful. I really like it.
Nice. Yeah, and I think another
It's a different style, certainly. That
I think Todd Haynes is
yeah,
definitely
for
inspired by
sure,
that, and I
for
think
sure.
Ranger Burner
Yeah, I was
Fassbender
gonna say
is
Fassbender
very inspired by that.
loves Cirque.
I know. I kind of envy you for that's like when I said earlier. I was like, well, we covered all the directors. This is when I was like, I wish I was able to watch like
And
what
that's
he made. What All That Heaven Allows
yeah.
too.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's not even like I feel like he has two or three others that are
that
a
are
little
like
bit
pretty
more well
prominent.
known
Yeah,
than yeah that. So like he has some more work I'd like to see for sure.
nice.
Hmm.
Okay. Can you check what time is it over there? Can you read that on the
7.
7:05?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Um, okay, the next one, to through line to Lauren Bacall is To Have and Have Not, the Howard Hawks film from 1944. Yes. Wow, that's crazy. So, and that kind of blows your mind too. And I said this to you on the phone. Is like watching movies, and you're like, World War II is like taking place like
Hmm.
when they filmed
It's
this.
crazy you're watching some of this like Japanese stuff to think like this is like 10 years after they got nuked. Like,
Well, that dude, yeah. I mean, you got to
well, we
watch
didn't
Human
watch this. Yeah,
Condition.
yeah, right,
You got to
right.
watch I Live in Fear. That
Yeah.
first off film about that. Yeah, it's incredible, man. Um, okay, Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall, Howard Hawks directed it. It's a Ernest Hemingway story, and
Hmm.
the person who wrote the script was William Faulkner. It's
Wow.
like the most like
Yeah,
American classics
that's
like
like yeah,
film.
40s too. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you can't
crazy.
get more of
And
its time than that.
I just because we had this idea to shoot about this, and I saw it on the channel. It was leaving same way as election was, and I just watched it on a whim. And then I was like, man, I picked a home run.
Yeah,
Like this
that's
movie
awesome.
is fucking incredible. Like I loved this movie. It's just like whip smart dialogue, short run time, like a solid 90 minutes. I mean, it's just fun. It's great. And then here's the best part about it, and everybody, this is like sort of the lore around it is, Bogart's 42, Lauren Bacall is 19. It's the first time they worked together, and they just like you can watch. They said I saw this thing about Lauren Bacall talking about like within like a couple weeks working on this film, they were like head over heels for each other. Like
Yeah, and you could
it's
see the chemistry.
exactly, and that's like some of the letterbox reviews talk about it. It's like scenes in movies where they're like not actually acting. It's
Right,
like you can tell like they're in love in this
right.
movie, and that makes it that much more
Yeah,
troubling.
yeah,
You know
it's,
what I mean? It's
yeah.
just
And
a
I mean, that's one
great.
of Hollywood's classic couples.
Exactly.
Um,
I love that it takes place in Martinique too, because I've
that's
always thought that's
cool.
a really cool.
French
Yes,
island, I
French
believe.
island,
Yeah,
right? And that's what it's about.
I didn't
Is
know
like
that.
he's
That's
sort
really
of this
cool.
like estranged, expat, and he doesn't know it, but like soon he's like helping out these French resistance forces on the island.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just fun.
That
I don't
intrigues
know.
me. Yeah,
I guess it would be. I don't really. I wouldn't call it a noir because it's not like dark or evil or anything. I think it's just a solid old movie.
yeah. I think it's just a drama.
And I have not seen Casablanca. Have you?
No,
Casablanca?
no.
I feel like this is like would go head to head with that as far as like
Right,
kind of that same idea.
right.
But a lot of people lean towards this now.
Really.
Bacall over Bergman, Ingrid Bergman. But I
Well,
don't know.
I think the other movie you're going to talk about with Bogart is a big one for him too, if that's what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's so funny because yes, I think Bogart shines in this movie. This
Yeah,
is a
I
Bogart
mean,
movie. Like he is the
yeah,
lead
you can.
by far.
He's a
He's
guy
great.
you watch and you're like, I get why people were obsessed with this guy. Like
Yeah, he's
he
got great
steals this
lines.
the camera, like he holds the camera so
Well, on the
well.
other movie, that's what they talk about. It's his face.
Yeah,
Like, he's got
right.
an interesting face.
We
But
get
yeah, let's
yeah. Do you want to talk about that movie now?
sure. I guess
Good
I'll lead into
segue
it.
into it.
Yeah, and that is Nicholas Ray's In a Lonely Place. But I think it's funny too because like Bacall's so great to have and have not. In a Lonely Place, Gloria Graham
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
incredible because that's kind of who you're rooting for in the movie.
right.
This is just like I haven't seen much Nicholas Ray. I know you have
Yeah,
seen
I've
probably
seen
more.
quite a bit of his. I really
I've seen a
like everything I've
few,
seen.
yes,
I've
but I would
seen
say this is probably the best that I like.
I
This
would agree. Yeah,
is
that's the best I've seen. I've also seen Johnny Guitar, which is fantastic, and then
you've talked about it on here.
Bigger Than Life is a really good one too with James Mason. That's kind of a cool one too because it's like kind of like a psychological thriller from the 50s, which was a little bit like
Well, wouldn't you say this is sort of
yes,
that too?
100%, yeah, yeah,
Because the whole idea of In a Lonely Place, you're like you're rooting for his love interest, Gloria Graham, but you don't know if Bogart is like a madman or not.
right, yeah. You don't know if he's
If he's like a
right,
murderer.
right.
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
I know it's based on a book by Dorothy Hughes, which is supposed to be like
I
an
didn't know that.
incredible book too. It's just good. Yeah, it's great.
Fantastic film.
I would recommend though to have not over it simply for the dialogue. The
Right.
dialogue to have not is like you gotta love it.
Yeah.
But this is more of like you're fixated. You're fixated.
Hmm.
Bogart. The scene where Bogart makes the cop and his wife like replay the scene and he's like smiling at him and stuff. Like it is. There's
I would
enough to
say
where you
that's a classic noir.
what
In a Lonely Place.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say it's like the classic noir, like that and what like
The Big
Asphalt
Heat. Yeah,
Jungle.
Asphalt
Yeah,
Jungle.
it's fantastic. Yeah, I don't. There's nothing. The tough thing about watching these old movies is like they're so. There's not much to talk about because you're just like it's great. Like it
Yeah,
is.
right,
It's exactly what you want it to be.
right,
It's like smart dialogue, like whippy acting, like just fun. Great. Like great. The cinematography is very old
right,
style.
right.
Yeah,
It's like very grandiose.
I
Like,
did say to you, I think it's funny because the cops are investigating for this murder, and they're like talking about his like previous raps, and they're like, oh yeah, he got in a fight and he got discharged in this, and they're like, oh yeah, like one of his old loving, his old girl like had a broken nose and then lied and said she like fell into a wall or something, and he's like, oh, he plays rough,
yeah.
and I was like, that's so like insane. He's like, yeah, he beat up a woman, like,
They're just
oh,
like,
oh
guys, he's one of those guys.
yeah, he
Like,
plays rough.
yeah. It's a different time, Not,
Also,
not everything will play.
in all of these movies too. Everybody's smoking, man. They're
Oh yeah.
smoking all the time. Makes you be like, oh man, I go for a cigarette. Like you just watch people
Right.
smoke.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, or drink too. They're
It
always
just makes you wonder, like, how many cigs did they
makes it.
smoke
Oh
making
well, I
this
mean,
movie?
Humphrey Bogart died when he was like 55
Yeah,
from I think lung
lung
cancer.
cancer.
Yeah. So I mean, that'll be your. It makes you want a hard drink too.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Like a whiskey on the rocks.
that's right.
That's how Bogart would take it. No fruity shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's good segue into the next one I watched, and I'll just knock out my final two here. Speaking of like whippy dialogue, I
Wait,
watched.
can
Oh,
I? I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
let's
Sorry,
take a
sorry.
quick break.
Okay.
Let's take a quick break. Bob's,
All right.
send us home.
Home stretch, yeah. So you were talking about kind of like the whippy dialogue, and I watched I think probably one of the most famous examples of that in His Girl Friday.
That's right. It's
Uh,
the other Howard Hawks. It's
yes.
Howard Hawks. Right?
Let me double check that.
I believe it is. I would
But
almost be certain.
it's Cary Grant.
Sure.
Yes, it is. Howard Hawks, excuse me. Cary Grant. And then let me. What's Rosalind Russell? I wasn't as
Okay.
familiar with the actress, but she's fantastic. I mean, obviously, very legendary.
Mm-hmm.
Slapstick, I guess you could say. It is a comedy, a romantic comedy, I suppose you could say. Even though it's kind of it's an interesting one. It's more about kind of like I think it's so groundbreaking because it's like the idea, or like kind of like the comic conceit behind it, is like this woman actually values her career more than getting like starting a family.
Oh
Like,
man.
yeah, right. So, but I don't know. It's
So
like,
you would say it does not hold up today in that sense.
well, but it doesn't. Nobody like shames her for it. It's just
Right,
kind of
right,
like
right.
it's like she
It's very
essentially
of the
Cary
time.
Grant is like her ex, but also like her reporting partner. And like
Oh,
she is set to marry a new guy and like move off into the suburbs and like stop working. But like Cary Grant is kind of like dragging
egging
her,
her on.
like
Yeah.
kind of like he's getting her invested into like a big scoop. And at the end, she's like, yeah, I want to keep doing this. Like I don't want to start a family.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I think it does kind of like I don't know. I think it does kind of hold up in the sense of like she does ultimately like
It's empowering.
yeah, I guess like yeah, she like no yeah she it gives you a different option, but I think once again you kind of know what you're getting into with that. It's just like back and forth dialogue, the classic dialect. I think it's one of those movies that's been parodied a million times, not necessarily in like direct scenes, but in the idea. It's just
Right.
these rapid exchanges of like quips at each other, like that sort of thing. And
Hmm.
I really like Sweet Smell of Success, and it's kind of like a comedy version of that movie, I would say, because it's about the
Because it is.
press
Yeah.
as
It's
well.
about.
Yeah,
Uh huh.
yeah, and
Yeah. I got to
it's that
rewatch
same. It's
that.
that rapid, quippy dialogue. I will admit, I thought I was watching Bringing Up Baby. I got those two movies mixed up, so I was a little confused on why there wasn't a cheetah in it, and then I realized Bringing Up Baby is the earlier one with Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
I get those two mixed up. So I watched His Girl Friday though, and then the other one I watched was I watched Samuel Fuller Pick Up on South Street, and I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. We're
Fuller's
fans of Fuller.
yeah,
We've
he's
seen
more
some
of
stuff.
yeah, he's definitely more of a cult guy.
Yeah, for
Indie
sure.
for sure. Pick Up on South Street is 1953 or 54, I think, but it's so much more lurid and violent, and just all those things compared to like In a Lonely Place, or like, and it's not necessarily as good
I
as.
mean, In a Lonely Place is literally a girl gets murdered, and Humphrey Bogart's like cracking jokes about her like the next day.
Well, I would say though, in Pick Up on South Street, it like shows the girl getting murdered. Like,
Oh,
yeah, like
right. That's
has
true.
scenes of like some pretty intense violence that I don't think would have flown in like a movie with Humphrey Bogart and stuff.
Gotcha.
So it is very lurid in that sense. And you can tell that it's like a little bit more edgy
Mm-hmm.
than some of the studio noirs. But yeah, Fuller is great at you can tell it's very low budget as well, but he's so good at there's some masterfully suspenseful sequences in it that I think are just so good and so brilliantly I don't know, choreographed, I guess you could say. But he does more with less. It's not a movie that like you're constantly reminded of it's being low budget. It's clearly
That's
he
awesome.
has a style that is suited to his budgetary constraints.
Yeah, you have to respect him, man. Because
Right.
like I said, I mean, similar to what we talked about with Douglas Sirk and John Waters, I feel like people like that, like some of those cult directors, probably look up to Samuel
Oh, for
Fuller in a
sure,
lot
for
of
sure.
ways.
Yeah, he's a big one. Nicholas Ray too, though, is a
You
big
think so?
yeah,
Okay,
for sure. I mean, he's like I said, he's Nicholas Ray's in The American Friend, which I would assume is like
that's true.
he's not just in that as an actor. He's
But Nicholas Ray, like in A Lonely Place, is like they're in the Hollywood Hills, and he's like a screenwriter.
yeah, yeah,
So that's what I mean. Whereas like Samuel Fuller feels more like he's like shooting from the seat of his pants.
yeah, yeah. He is. It's like shot on the streets of New York. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it is a different type of. It's the opposite ends of the noir spectrum for
That's
sure.
true.
And then I guess one more mention. I watched the Lavender Hill Mob. Speaking of the Lady Killers, I was actually going to watch the Lady Killers, the original.
Yeah.
Ealing comedy is what they're called,
Okay.
which was this studio in Britain that made these comedies: Lady Killers, Lavender Hill Mob, Kind Hearts and Coronets.
Mm-hmm.
Alec Guinness is the star of most of them.
Nice.
And then I saw the Lady Killers is one of the famous ones. But I don't know. I was kind of swayed into. Apparently, a lot of people like the Lavender Hill Mob better. So I watched that, and it was. I don't have much to say about it. It was pleasant. It was charming. I didn't think it was like a knockout or anything fantastic.
There's nothing that
but
like really stood out to you.
no. But there was nothing that made me think that I didn't like it either. Like it was just a funny
I
movie.
know.
I guess I was a little disappointed and like hoping I'd get a little bit more out of it. But
Well,
I
that's
think
what I was gonna say. Movies like that, because I watched a few recently, and it's like movies like that. It's like the worst for this podcast.
right.
It's like, what am I gonna say?
I know it's just like it's
it's
like
it was inoffensive.
it's a
like
gentleman's
Frankenstein was like that. Right?
right.
Kind of like,
It's just a true gentleman's 3.5. It's like I liked it. Like I don't really have too much to say one way. I don't feel strongly one way or another.
It'd be like 50 if I saw it on TV and there's nothing else. I'd be
I was literally gonna
50
say
of like, would I put it on?
I truly think these Ealing comedies are like so reviewed because they were like on TV a lot, and it's just something you could easily turn on and like. Yeah, and it was cool to see Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I feel like he's. I mean, I've seen Bridge on the River Kwai, which is his
Star Wars.
Well, I was trying. I was leading up to like his. I'm talking about his non-Star Wars stuff. Yes, obviously I've seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's also very famous for those comedies. Kind Hearts and Coronets, I think, is the one where he plays like the whole family.
Wasn't he in like a bunch of like the Shakespeare movies?
Yeah.
He's in I'm reading Great Expectations right now, and I'll probably watch that soon.
He's good. He's funny.
I'm at the Light Watch. That's so funny. There's a famous YouTuber, Nakey Jakey. He does like game videos, and he's great. And he did an episode or a video that's called like in praise of 6 out of 10 games.
That's
and I'd be like, we could always just make a video just like in praise of like the gentleman's
3.5. Yeah, gentleman's 3.5.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah. But that completes it for my
wraps it up.
expenditures into the 40s and 50s
Well,
of
you know what?
cinema.
Thanks, Bob. And I'm glad we filmed today. I wasn't really feeling it, but I think we got a good conversation
We're
out of
getting
it.
it out of there, yeah, and
Yeah,
it just incentivizes us to watch more movies
I
for
know.
the next one because now,
Just been busy,
yep,
work.
it's the
Thank
holidays.
God we've been.
Everybody's busy.
It's good we're busy. It's
Yeah.
good to be
Are you?
busy.
Do you not have any more to talk about?
I don't. Do
Cool.
you?
No, no, but yeah, I just like I said, I think this will just be kind of a more of an informal one. We're just trying to get out there, but I think
I
it's
need
good.
this. We just need to find time to like clip more. I'd love to because when you did the Chunking Express clip. That's like got the most views of anything
Really,
we've done, I
I need
think.
to. It's
But
hard though
it's not
right
like
now. It's
I mean, we just have to figure out how to like
we need to invest more.
crack
Yeah,
into the
and
yes.
I'm hoping after the holidays because I know the holidays are just like where
It's
everyone's
true. Maybe
busy.
a New Year's resolution will be we need to.
We'll put more time and effort into it, but
Yeah, but still, it's such a joy
yes,
doing it.
it is. It
So
is, and it re-inspires you, reinvigorates you.
if you're watching, thank you. Shout
Yeah,
out
thank you.
Chandler Burgess, Harrison Renner,
And
our
anyone
only two
else? My
fans.
mom,
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes. Right on. Well,
All
thanks so
right.
much. We'll see you next time.